All right, everybody, how are you today? I am your girl, your chocolate smoothie. I am Valerie with Sister Talk with Valerie. I was not supposed to be coming on tonight because I told my sister that I was going to take a hiatus from doing Sister Talk with Valerie. But I got a call from a friend of mine, a woman by the name of Miss Joyce Foster, and I wanted to bring her on for several reasons. One, because she is the cousin of Henrietta Lacks. And two, is because she has these wonderful brand of sanitary napkins for young ladies that improve your health, that are biodegradable, that are healthy. And for those of you who don't know who Henrietta Lacks is, Henrietta Lacks was a African American woman who went to John Hopkins complaining of vaginal bleeding. She was diagnosed with a tumor. They were supposed to be treating her, and then they took cells from her. And for whatever reason, Henrietta Lacks cells never died, and so the HeLa cells and Henrietta Lacks is responsible for the cure for many of the diseases that we suffer with every day. People are still using the lax cells to cure what they call uncurable diseases. But they never awarded her family any money for doing it. As a matter of fact, I met her family. There, a lot of them are still living in Baltimore, and a lot of them are suffering from chronic illnesses, and some of them can't even get Medicaid or health care services. Yet, and still, John Hopkins made millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars off of Henrietta Lacks cells. Now, the reason why Miss Joyce is not on here today is because she's having technical difficulties. She was supposed to be on here last week, and the week before, and she had technical difficulties. And she's supposed to be on here this week, and she's having technical difficulties, and so we are unable to air. But you know what? Maybe God asked me to come on here for a reason. Maybe I'm supposed to be on here to talk to you about, to be a little transparent about me. Maybe there is somebody out here that I am supposed to be talking to. And even though, I said I was going to take a break from doing Sister Talk, one of the things is that I realized is that I'm not a planner type of person that can like plan things and talk to, schedule when I'm going to talk. When God gives me something to say, I'm going to say it. And if I ain't got nothing to say, I'm not going to say it. I'm not on here to get views, and I'm not on here to be popular. I come on here because I want to be transparent, and because if there's one person that I can help with my story or the stories I share from other people, then for me it's a greater good, and it's a greater thing that I'm doing. So what I want to say to y'all is that I am struggling, and I've been struggling for some time. I'm struggling, and I've been hiding it because everybody sees me as this face of joy and encouragement for everybody else. But truly, I'm a human being, and there's a transition that's happening in my life that is really causing me a lot of angst and pain. I am 58 years old, and I'll be 59 next month on the 10th. And before COVID, I was a social person. I used to go out. I would network with people. I would visit people. I would go out by myself. I had a great time. And then COVID came, and I became isolated. I started spending a lot of time with myself, and I started um, really going into this mode of self-discovery and isolation. But then I started coming out of it as COVID got better. And then about 3 months ago, I started having complications or issues with my legs that were like, it's like um, degenerative arthritis, right? So now my legs don't work. My legs have abandoned me. And I can't, like, my legs and my ability to walk is a part of my stride and who I am. And and now it's gone. And I'm dealing with this whole transition into old age. And I'm struggling with it. And it's causing my depression to kick in, and it's causing me to question who I am, and it's causing me to isolate even more. And so I felt like I'm not going, I'm gonna just deal with this on my own by myself, like I usually deal with stuff, right? And God had been saying to me, you try to be, you say you're transparent, you need to share what you're going through with somebody, because you don't know who else it can help. You don't know who else is going through it. You don't know who else can relate. And it's difficult, y'all, because I'm the one that talks about mask, bringing your mask down and being transparent and saying what it is. I say that to people all day. But I'm telling you, when you're going through stuff and you are the one that is impacting, it is difficult to be transparent about it. It's difficult for me not to be who I felt I was all of my life, an independent, strong woman. And even though people can tell me all day long that you're still the strong person, when my legs are betraying me, when my life is changing, when I feel so isolated and alone, you can't convince me in my head that that's not what's happening. And although I am, I got a lot of blessings, it doesn't mean that I'm not, when you talk to people about the struggles that you're going through, sometimes they make you feel, even though it's not their intent, that somehow that means you ain't having faith in God. But that's not the case. We human beings and we go through stuff. And what I'm going through is challenging me. Like, yes, I am blessed. I have wonderful children. I have wonderful grandchildren. I have written books. I have written and produced, plays. That's great. But that don't do nothing about what I'm going through on an everyday basis when nobody else is around. The thoughts that's in my head, the how just sometimes empty I might feel, how weak I might feel when I'm going through something, right? And the reason why I'm talking about this is because I am always telling women to be comfortable taking off their masks. And part of the reason why I felt the need not to come and talk to you, this is what I do all the time, is because of what people are going to think. And I'm also the person that says, don't worry about what people think. But inside of us, we are all human beings. And the mask that we wear, sometimes it's not even for us, it's for other people, not to let them down, not to let other people down. If you're an encourager and you're always encouraging people, and then one day you're down, what are people going to think? Oh my God, you must not be an encourager because you're down. Oh, you going through stuff, well then how can you encourage me? A lot of times when I'm encouraging other people, I'm also encouraging myself, because I need to do that on a daily basis, because I get so in a place of just like, wow, why? I do that. I question why. And yes, I pray and I ask for prayer. But then I say, other people are going through worse things. Other people, I have a girlfriend right now that's going through chemotherapy, that's dealing with cancer. I have some friends that's going through some real life things. So I feel like, how am I going to complain? Because, you're getting older and you might have to use a cane. And I am using a cane. So how am I going to complain about, oh, you might be feeling a little depressed or you feel lonely? How am I going to complain about that when other people got bigger problems? So I keep them to myself. But when you hold things inside, it is not a good thing for me, because holding things inside makes me emotional. It allows the enemy to be in my ear, feeding on all of my insecurities, continually saying things to me that the negative things that I say to myself. That's what happens when you isolate and when you already deal with depression and when negative things happen. Let me tell you something. It is a real thing. It's almost like a grieving process. We got stages in life, right? We go from our young adulthood to teenagehood to our 20s and 30s. And sometimes when you're like 30 and 40 and 50, you don't think nothing ever is going to affect you. That's how I was 3 years ago. I was feeling good. I was looking good. I was moving and grooving. I was going where I wanted to go. I didn't depend on nobody. And then my legs betrayed me. And I can't like walk like talking about it. I mean, I got a limp or I'm using a cane. I'm going to physical therapy now. I am in pain 24/7. And I'm not sure how to deal with that. I'm not sure how to deal with that. It's hard to sleep because I'm in pain. When I wake up, I'm in pain. When I hobble to room, I'm in pain. I mean, I have left the house that I was living in to move into a place that is smaller, more compact, and everything on the same floor so that I can be able to manage, so that I can be able to get around. And, yeah, I have people that love me, but, I have children that I'm not supposed to, in my head and mind, have to rely on my children to do anything for me. I am used to doing for myself. And that's another thing. Being dependent on somebody when you are so used to being independent, when you're so used to not having to ask anybody for anything. That's where I am. And then it reminds me of my immortality or my mortality. What's going to happen if I get to the place where I can't move at all? Suppose I start having to be in a wheelchair and I have to depend on somebody to feed me and take me to the bathroom. I'm not having an easy time. Like that ain't I'm not there in my head. But that is what I'm going through makes me think of. Like, suppose that happens. What you gonna do, Val? Like financially, like you gotta work because you take care of you. What's gonna happen if you can't work? What's gonna happen if you can't drive yourself somewhere? Like even now, I'm ordering my groceries online. It's difficult. Y'all don't even understand how hard it is for me even to say this out loud in the public. It's difficult for me, but I'm saying it because I am hoping that me being this transparent might help somebody else. I don't know. Maybe it's somebody else out there that's struggling with aging because that's what I'm going through. I'm struggling with the aging process and it's affecting me and my body, and I can't get around and be who I feel like I've always been. I feel like I'm not that person anymore, and I'm having to introduce myself to this new person who is dependent. And while God is my savior, and that's who I depend on, and that's who gets me up every day, that's who helps me do everything, it is a lonely place to be. Like I called my nephew, I moved into this place. It killed me to move because you got a bend to unpack and all this. I had to call my nephew over here to put pictures on my wall and put my curtains up, right? That's a hard thing. Like I was married for 25 years. I'm used to there being somebody there. Like I thought I was going to grow old. And even if I grew old and was sitting on the rocking chair, there would be somebody next to me growing old with me. So that's another thing that I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with the fact that, my mom is not here. I'm 58 years old, almost 60. And now I'm in a place in my life where I just crave my mother's presence. I want to ask her questions about, hey, Mom, did you go through this? Did you feel that when you were at that stage in your life and she's not here? I got friends, wonderful friends, loving friends. And we're there for each other. They my girls. We da da da. But there is something about being a Black woman that says you're supposed to go through shit by yourself. That's what we do. Because most of the time when I reach out to my girlfriends, they're going through stuff too. And we find out about it later. Yeah, girl, I was going through X, Y, and Z. Unless we need prayer, then we call each other for prayer. So maybe that's why I'm saying it, because we do go through stuff alone. Something in my head. I don't know whether it was the way I was raised. I had a strong mother that made it look like she was invincible. And so what that said to me was I had to be strong. I had to be strong. Like my mom wasn't perfect, but for me, there didn't seem to be a skip in her beat like she did it. She did it all. So that's what I did. I took on her persona and I started caring for people like she did. I started taking care of people like she did. I started housing people like she did. You know, because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. That's what I saw. That's what I learned. And then for me, there's an expectation at this age in my life that people that know me, I don't have to tell them, hey, I need help. It's almost a weakness for me to say I need help. And I don't know where that comes from. Is what I saw, is what I learned. But my mother died when she was 54 years old taking care of people. She had a heart attack first, and then she got cancer. And I watched her. And I didn't believe nothing was ever going to happen to my mom. She was invincible to me. And when I lost her, a part of me died. And immediately, to fill the void of not having her in my life, I took on her characteristics. Well, my mother had my aunt. My mother had about 5 or 6 kids that lived with her, my uncle, my sisters. She took care of everybody. So what did I do with a baby? Two kids. I had a baby and a husband. I moved into my mother's house and I tried to slip myself into her shoes. And I almost had a nervous breakdown trying to be my mother. But for all of my life, that's who I've been trying to be, because that is the measure that I have of what it's supposed to look like. That's strength to me. That's what I think it's supposed to be. You're supposed to take care of everybody. You're supposed to make it all right. You're supposed to encourage you. But what I know that happened with my mom is that she died. And when she died, there wasn't nobody there. All of the people that my mother had taken care of all of her life, all of her children, we sat around and except for my auntie, Gracie, we was looking for people to come and make it better for us, and nobody was there except my Aunt Gloria. So we became self-destructive because we didn't have that lifeline. And even me, the person who always did the right thing in her life, became self-destructive after my mother died. And when I was through being self-destructive, then I decided that I wanted to do better. And so what I thought is what I was supposed to do was take care of people in between these relationships that I was looking for to feed that love that my mother gave me, which was unbelievable and unconditional, that I could never fill with anybody. That's what I did. So now, hi, Ma, I love you too. Now I am in this place of, in about 6 years, I'm going to be a senior citizen for real. But I'm struggling, y'all. And that's why I'm having this conversation. I'm struggling because in all of my taking care of, I suddenly, when I turned 50 years old, found what I thought was me. That person who could be independent, that I wasn't taking care of nobody anymore. I was going to take care of Valerie. I was going to do what Valerie thought she wanted to do. And I started writing books. I was in my first, fashion show. I started doing things that I had never done before, networking, doing short films. It was wonderful at 50 years old. And I thought that's how it was going to continue. And then COVID hit. I mean, before COVID, I was self-assured. I felt good. And I don't know what happened, but that 2 years of isolation did something. And after that, I don't think I've been the same since. I can still present well, like I say to other people, but there's something that's different. And so, as I'm trying to sort of turn the page, turn the wheel, and sort of come into an acceptance of, all right, Val, this is a season that God has you in. All right. You're getting older. It's a beautiful thing. Thank God you got breath. I am thankful. Now my legs betray me. I have a trip that I'm going to next week to go. It's a business trip, right? And I love to travel. I've always loved to travel, but I'm not looking forward to this trip. I'm scared to go on this trip because I'm not mobile. My daughter called me. She says, all right, Mom, you need to go ahead and order a wheelchair so you can get around the airport. Do you know what that did to me to have to do that? Like, I gotta order a wheelchair to travel. Like I'm struggling, y'all. I'm supposed to, people are calling me and asking me, hey, you want to come do this? You want to come do that? And usually I say yeah. And I've said yeah to some things, but I don't really want to do it because I don't really want to be out there because I am feeling some kind of way that my legs are betraying me. I'm feeling some kind of way. I already deal with the fact that with age comes this lapse of memory. All right, but I can make up for that. But now my body's going to shut down on me. Like, I can't even, I can't exercise. People say, well, you got to take off some of that weight. Well, damn, I got to be able to walk to do that. And my legs are betraying me and I'm feeling some kind of way. So I just needed to come on here and say this to somebody because I know I ain't the only one that had to go through, is going through. There is a process that happens when you get a certain stage in life that is like grief. And that's the stage I'm in right now. I am grieving who I used to be, who I thought I was, who I had plans for. I'm trying to do everything I can to get this thing in place. You know, I'm going to therapy, physical therapy. I'm taking medication. It ain't working. I'm trying to find easy ways to do things. You know, my daughter told me, okay, Mom, you know, you order Instagram, you have people bring your groceries. If you order Amazon, you have it bring people bring your stuff in. Yeah, I can get in the car and go somewhere. I get to the store, I walk a couple paces. I got to turn back around because it's too much. I cried all last night because that's not who I want to be. I don't like it. I'm a little pissed off about it. I don't have to, you know, I can believe that this too shall pass. And maybe it will, but suppose it doesn't. Suppose it doesn't, man. I mean, yeah, I'm going to have to figure it out. I still got my mind. I still got my breath. I still got so many blessings. I know that. But let me tell you, when life does a transition on you, it is hard. It's not easy. And we human. And it does not mean I don't believe in God. It means that I am a human being going through a human process. And I'm messed up about it right now. I'm struggling. So, if there's anybody out there that can relate, if there's anybody out there that's sitting at home feeling like shit, depressed, down, alone, please know that you're not by yourself. I don't care how many times I come on this Facebook and I smile. Don't think that I'm not going through things. Yeah, we as women, we keep it moving. We carry all of this stuff on our shoulders. Men too. Men too. Let's not forget about our men that keep it moving and being strong no matter what you're going through. But it ain't human. It ain't natural not to say I'm struggling to hold all this stuff inside, to go through all of this changes in life and not have anybody to talk to about it is a hard thing. I just want to say you ain't by yourself. It's somebody out there right now sitting at home by themselves, feeling like they all alone. They ain't got nobody. That, you know, they get up every day and they do the same thing every day. They go to work every day, or they don't go to work every day, or they should be further in their life, that they is no matter how hard they grind, they still don't seem to be hitting that mark. They praying, they laying before God. They ain't got the blessings that they think they should have. They didn't get the house. They didn't get the man. They didn't get the woman. They sick. They got diagnosed with cancer. It's somebody out there that's going through that right now. And I want to say, I friggin' hear you. I hear you. But what I also know is, even with that, y'all, even with that, I got to trust God. Because everything in my entire life that has been hard for me, that I have struggled with, that I had to get through, I know that I couldn't have got through it without God. I know that there's been times in my life where I could not see where the end was going to be. I couldn't figure it out. How am I going to get out of this? How am I going to get past this? How am I going to get through this hurt? When my mother died, there is nothing else in my life that has hurt me as much as when I lost my mom. I wanted to die. I used to have these breakdowns while my mother was alive because I would have dreams that she died. And I said to her, please do not leave me on this earth by myself. Because I felt like if my mother left me, I would be totally alone because she's the only one that understood me. She's the only one that unconditionally loved me. She's the only one that unconditionally accepted me. But that wasn't true because God did that for me as well. And as much as I'm struggling right now, y'all, as much as this ain't easy, as much as I want to scream because this transition is driving me crazy, this is the same conversation that I have with God. The same way. I ain't doing it in no form, fashion. You got to do. This is how me and my dude talk every day. Because I need him to know that I'm struggling right now. But I trust you, but I'm me. And you know me. And this ain't no easy thing. So whatever it is that you need me to learn from this, help me learn it. Because I don't want to keep repeating the same things. I don't want to. I want to learn the lessons so I could pass the test. I don't want to be staying back in spiritual school. I don't want to be baby fed. I want to pass. I want to get to where I'm supposed to get. I want to be with God in heaven. And I know there's been so many tests I had to repeat, y'all, because I ain't learned the lesson. So if this is a lesson that my legs have betrayed me, then God help me to be able to embrace it. Show me what I'm supposed to learn. Is there somebody out there who I need to, maybe I need to start a group for women who are aging. I don't know. But whatever it is, I'm open to it. So whatever it is that anybody out there is going through, please know that you ain't by yourself. You could inbox me and we can have a conversation about it. Because I understand how it feels to feel like you are the only one going through this thing right here. And if you told anybody, you'd be embarrassed. They would look down on you. They would talk about you. They wouldn't see you as you used to be. I get it. But you could talk to me because I ain't going to do none of them things. And people that will do that, they just need something to talk about anyway. I don't even really care. At this point, my transparency, you guys know, I'm transparent to no fault. And maybe it is to a fault. But I believe that this is what God has led me to do. And I believe that there is somebody that can relate to what I'm going through. And if somebody can relate to what I'm going through, and I can be able to say something that's going to help them, then God knows maybe that's what the lesson is. Maybe that's the lesson. Because I know I ain't the only one going through stuff. I mean, you know, I was on the prayer line this morning. There was people going through all kinds of stuff, worse than me. But just because someone goes through something worse than you don't mean that what you're going through is not valid. It don't mean that it don't hurt. It don't mean that it's not hard. It don't mean that you lack faith. It don't mean that you did something wrong. It means that we are in this human world having these human experiences while we spiritual. That's what it means. So yeah, no, I know this was I wasn't supposed to be doing Facebook Live tonight. My sister told me I need to take a break and plan my stuff and schedule my things. That's not who I am. That's not who God called me to be. And if I come on here, if I got something to say and God leads me, I'ma say it. If I don't have nothing to say, I ain't gonna say it. And if I come on here and it's only for one person, that's good enough for me because then I will have achieved what God has led me to do. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, y'all. So I feel a little better. I feel a little better that I got that off my chest. I'm going to ask y'all that believe in prayer to pray for me. Because I know I'm going to get to the other side of this. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know what it's going to feel like. But I know I'm going to get to the other side of this. So, oh, Lord have mercy. As I'm going through, please know that we can get through. So I love y'all. I appreciate you, even if it's only one of you. And if you need me, I'm going to still be here. Have a good night. Bye-bye.